It has been an entire year since my last drop of alcohol. No more hangovers, no more wasted weekends. In this video, I'm going to share some of my experiences over the last year abstaining from alcohol, as well as some of the challenges I've faced, the benefits that I've seen, and also some tips for you if you might be thinking of trying it for yourself. Another reason I'm making this video is that now that I've reached my goal of 1 year, I need to decide whether or not I will go back to drinking. Oh, that worked out quite well. Let's start with some backstory. As an Australian, drinking has always been a big part of my life. From a young age, we see it as a normal way to celebrate, have fun, and socialize. I started drinking around the age of 16. My mates and I would sometimes drink until vomiting or passing out. I'm not sure how good that is for the developing brain, but I'm sure it's not great. Fast forward to my university days, and drinking was almost compulsory. I'm talking 2 to 3 times a week binge drinking. I definitely tamed it down after the first year or two, but I still had some big nights over the years. When I was studying and working in Asia in 2019, alcohol was a way to make friends, connect with people, and have fun.
Alright, in summary, we had 6 drinks, 7 or 8 drinks. I'm vlogging.
I enjoyed drinking and the feeling of being drunk, but I absolutely hated the way it made me feel afterwards. Blistering headaches the entire next day, sadness, and just this general feeling of anxiety for no particular reason the following day. I eventually got to the point in my life where my time and energy was too valuable to be wasting entire days being in bed hungover. Between full-time work and trying to do gym and jiu-jitsu 6 days a week, I was finding it incredibly difficult to recover each week and then do it all again. I'd get sick regularly and just not perform at my best the first half of basically every week. So late September, I decided enough was enough. After a few false starts, trying to have a sober August, for example, I decided to quit alcohol completely. I think I started off telling myself that I would do it for like 1 month, but then that streak started to grow and it became too precious. I didn't want to break it. Now here I am 1 year later making this video, and I do not regret it one bit. I don't really know if I could have stopped drinking any earlier. I think most of us are just doing the best that we can in any given moment. But in the last year, I feel like that level of best that I can do or give has improved. So with that, let's talk about the benefits that I've seen from this whole experience. We'll start with the most obvious area, and that is the physical benefits. I won't bore you with statistics around how alcohol is the top risk factor for several diseases, such as cardiovascular disease and other medical related things. If you're interested in the biology behind this and the science, Andrew Huberman has a really good podcast that I can link in the description below around how alcohol affects your brain and body. So give that a listen if you're interested. The main physical benefit that I noticed was my ability to actually recover each week and not spend my Sundays fighting off a hangover and actually resting instead. My body could actually regenerate and heal each week, and I even felt able to do other things on the weekend, such as go for a hike out in nature, which I love doing. Alcohol absolutely shits all over your sleep quality, so that was likely a reason why I felt I could recover better not drinking. Next up, and this is a big one, is the improvements in mental health that I've seen. Drinking alcohol is borrowing happiness from tomorrow. I think Albert Einstein probably said that. He seems to have said most quotes. The day after getting on the beers, I am just not a pleasant person to talk to or be around. I remember several times the day after drinking where I would be on the parents to my phone or talking to a friend, and I would just be so irritable and just be an absolute dickhead to the other person for no reason whatsoever. I'm still not perfect by any means, and I have more room to grow, that's for sure. But I noticed that hungover me was the opposite of who I wanted to be as a person. He was lazy, unmotivated, unkind, and unhealthy. Being somebody that I did not want to be for 1/7 of the week, of every week, just was not good for mental health. Since quitting alcohol, I actually love my Sundays now. They're the day that I do all of my adult type things, all my chores, like going shopping, doing meal prep, doing the laundry. Those sort of things when you're hungover are hell. When you're feeling fine and you get up nice and early, you can smash them out. And I've been enjoying listening to podcasts and or music even when I do these chores, and it just makes for a much more enjoyable day. Next up is financial. If you are a return viewer, you'll already know some of my views on money. It represents your life energy, your time and energy, which are both finite, and it should be spent wisely. If that idea is new to you, I highly recommend watching my previous video, or maybe the one before that. I'll link it somewhere here. I still haven't figured out which way to point, but yeah, that's a pretty interesting watch that you might enjoy. If you knock back, say, 1 or 2 craft beers every night, and then go to the pub on a Friday or Saturday, you could easily spend $100 to $200 a week on alcohol. Let's extend that over the entire year. That's $5 to $10K a year. I really like extrapolating things out like that because it helps you evaluate your financial decisions and other things, and really helps you compare things. Would you rather spend $5,000 on alcohol or go on a beautiful overseas trip every year? Think about that. The choice is pretty easy for me. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's incredibly easy for everybody to give up alcohol. There are challenges, but I think that these can all be managed. Probably the biggest challenges are around the social aspect of not drinking. Depending on what country you're in, alcohol is likely at the center of most of the socializing. There is no doubt at all that alcohol is a fantastic social lubricant. It is known as liquid courage for a reason. But what if you could have all of that confidence and have all of the fun without alcohol? Well, I've been out a few times now completely sober, and I can assure you it is possible. A drink can act almost like a pacifier or a dummy when you're in an uncomfortable social situation. Having something in your hand and something to do with your mouth, I suppose, just seems to make things less awkward. I also seem to dance better with a drink in my hand for some reason, or so it seems. Something that's helped me a lot here is just to buy a non-alcoholic drink. It's quite simple. Soda and lime is my go-to. It's weird ordering it the first few times, but it's really not a big deal. And also they're free at a lot of places, which is an added bonus. An interesting opportunity that comes out of not drinking is you get to really evaluate who your real friends are. If somebody's not okay with you not drinking and you tell them, fair enough if they ask, but if you tell them once or twice you're not drinking and they just can't accept that, are they really the type of person you want to be hanging around anyways? As an aside, I find it very interesting that our society has normalized alcohol, which is a drug and a poison, so much to the point that you need an excuse not to drink. Like you need to opt out rather than opt in. It's very weird. Another benefit that I've noticed is the confidence that it gives you to actually stick to your guns, make a promise to yourself, and then follow through with that. Not succumbing to peer pressure and not succumbing to your own old habits or desires, and yeah, actually sticking with it. It builds a lot of self-trust and self-love, honestly. Keeping promises to yourself is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to build self-love. You tell yourself that your health is important to you and it is a priority, but that same weekend you go out and drink until 3 a.m, you have Maccas and McDonald's for my non-Australian audience. You have Maccas, you maybe smoke a little bit, vape a bit, maybe take some drugs. All of these things, you wake up the next day feeling like crap and feeling guilty and ashamed of yourself because you know that your actions are not in line with the best version of yourself and who you could be and likely who you want to be. Alcohol lowers your inhibition and is a gateway to doing dumb things. Cut out alcohol and you'll find it a lot easier to stick to other habits such as healthy eating, exercise and sleep, and just all around, I can guarantee you it will improve your life. So, will I drink again? Honestly, I'm not sure I can commit to never drinking again. Forever is a long time, and the promises I make to myself are very important to me. In saying that, I am committing to not drinking for another year, and what a waste of beer. And I likely will do that each year henceforth. If you've watched this far in the video, I'm willing to bet you're at least considering giving up alcohol, or at least reducing your intake. So a parting piece of advice I would give is to not think of it as giving up something, but rather focus on the benefits and what you're gaining from doing something like this. As an example, yeah, it might be slightly harder to be confident socializing in the beginning, but you will overcome that and you'll be better for it. You'll be able to be more present when you're with people, when you're not drunk and off your face, and you'll actually be able to remember things a lot clearer. So you'll remember the memories you make with the people you love, which I think is pretty important. You'll also have more time and energy to pour into other habits. This YouTube channel, and I've also started doing some photography on the side. I don't think I could do this. Oh, a bird out there. Oh, I'm really good at this, aren't I? Huh. Looks like it's got a worm or something in its mouth. This is a great outro. It's a big worm. Good job, Maggie. Where was I? And I don't think I would have the time or energy to be doing these if I was still partying every weekend. That's it from me, guys. Please backhand that like button if you did like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'd love to hear from you. Please comment down below if this is something you're considering or you have done. And yeah, I'd love to chat. Start with 1 month, succeed with that, and then go from there. I believe in you.